playing like?
Well, obviously, you owe it to the seniors to play your best game, to send them off on a great note. And we got some great seniors that deserve a good send-off. Mike Molinari he's been such a great program guy for us. He's done everything we've asked, from kicking off to being a backup punter, backup field goal guy. He's on our hands team. I mean, he's exactly what you would call a student athlete in every aspect, and a great teammate.
How has he kind of progressed here this year as opposed to the rest of the years he's been in this program?
Our kickoff placement has been so much better than it has since I've been here. He's developed into a guy that can move the ball around and make the opponent guess. And obviously this week, playing probably one of the most dynamic kick and punt returners in the country in Lockett, we have our work cut out for us. But hopefully Mike will take that as a personal challenge.
Vernon obviously got a lot of time on punt return. I guess, so what did you see out of him that you liked?
He said, "I want to do it." We're like, "Okay, you're in." Next man up.
On that note, does it surprise you at all at this point in your career that some players are just practice players and some players are a little bit better in a game? That still comes as a shock when you don't see them do it as much in practice and they get in the game and they're like, "Oh, this."
Yeah, well, like I've said from the get-go, catching a punt is the hardest thing there is in football. And you guys, if you would come out and try to catch one, you'd realize how difficult it is and how intimidating it is. So it's just a matter of gaining confidence, and he's gonna eventually gain more confidence, and we're gonna get better. It was the first time in a while we actually got 15 yards on a return. One, because we caught it. I guess that's the start of the play.
What do you expect the environment to be like on Thursday? Pretty cold, obviously, but as far as fans coming out and the final game for a lot of these seniors.
Well, I hope the fans will come out and support the people that put us in this position, and the seniors that went through some really good times, and they went through the transition of going from the Big East to the Big 12. And those were the guys that were the cornerstone to help us in that transition. We owe it to them, like I said, to send them out on a good note. A rowdy crowd. Weather's not going to be a factor. Kansas plays in weather like this all the time, and with the wind blowing about 30 miles an hour. So, I've been in this league long enough. I've played up in Manhattan where it's been worse than it's going to be Thursday night.
Is there any stock in the idea that the cold weather will actually limit distance on kicks? Or
there's no question. It's a harder ball. The ball does not travel as far. There's no give to the ball when you kick it. So I say it just because I know it. But the worst thing about weather is the kicking game, because you can't predict the wind, you can't predict the rain, you can't predict how. It's hard to practice catching a ball in the wind, whether you're throwing it or kicking it, or because it's inconsistent. And that's always a nightmare for a special teams guy when you got a weather game. And you'll notice it across the country. Any weather game you've seen this year, there's been miscues because it's the unknown and the unpracticed.
Speaking of nightmares, and